on this. There we go. Awesome. Okay. So, tonight we were just going to talk about finding new leads and plugging people in. And Red is going to give us some of her tips and tricks. She's really good on Facebook. Her Facebook is popping. My Facebook is doing okay, but not popping. I'm not growing by any means but I'm getting good engagement, I feel like, but definitely not growing. And I don't want to say I'm not getting new leads from there, but I think I'm getting people that have been watching me for a really long time to finally jump from Facebook. But as far as new leads for me, I do really, really well on TikTok. That's my biggest thing is posting like TikTok videos that I'm hiring and hoping somebody applies. Obviously, they took the link away on TikTok. So that is a little annoying. But I'm just putting like if you want to know more info, drop like emojis below. That's what I used to do. That's what I used to do before like we had links, before I had like something to gather leads for me. So I'm just kind of going back old school and just hoping people will give me their email address. But that's been like my best way to find new leads and to be even more honest, just talking to people in real life, just having conversations with people, like just talking to my nail girl. Like she might join me because I talked to her enough about it. Because she's like, girl, these nails. I'm like, you could sell these gummies too. Your people would have to come back to you every 3 weeks instead of every month because their nails are so long. You're welcome. Like you're making more money that way, right? I feel like just getting out in public and actually talking about it is is really going to be like key for me right now, especially since I don't have as many hours in the day. So I feel like all those moms at soccer that I never really wanted to chat with about like what I do, I feel like those anxious moms, I'm going to have that conversation with this season instead. I'm going to be like, you know what? I'm going to take one of these right now. Do you want to take one of these too? Because like we both seem to be pretty wound up here together. This will calm your ass down. You'll love it because I feel like sharing is caring. And when I do those things, they're like, "Ooh, yeah, what are you taking? Like, is it drugs?" And I'm like, "Sort of, like, kinda, like, but not really." But they like it. I think we're in this like era where people are finally starting to be like, "Okay, hemp and mushrooms are kind of cool." People are starting to understand that there's some real power here, and I think that like the louder we get about it, the better it will be. But that was just kind of like I wasn't even supposed to talk about anything really tonight, I don't think. But I was just like, you know me. I always stick my fucking nose in and say some things anyways, because I can't control myself. But I'm gonna turn it over to Jenny and Red because they're gonna give us some of their tips on finding new leads and plugging people in to our flow as well. Red's been doing an amazing job. She's had so many people on the Thursday night calls. I see like probably 3 to 7 people on the calls for you every week that are like tagging you. And I'm like, that's a lot. That's a lot. Like I've been here a while and like that's a lot of people every week. And it's been very consistent. So I'd love to know how the fuck you're doing that, like to be honest, because I swear it's like pulling teeth just to get one person on. So share a little bit about that with us, Red, if you don't mind. And then Jenny, I swear I'll shut up.
No, but we don't mind when you talk because you always talk facts. It's never just shit we don't need to hear.
For that. I like that.
Okay. So, um I am one of those people. I like to go back to like very old posts from like say September. I have a bad habit with falling off when I get a ton of comments. And I know that I do that. So I'll literally go back and I'll be like, oh shit, there's like 15 comments here I haven't answered. That's going to bump me right back up into the feed. This post's going to start popping again. So I do that. Um, and this is also where I get a lot of my weekly people that I talk to because I'll see that they were interacting way back in September and here it is October and they're still interacting with me. Why haven't I messaged them yet? I'm good about messaging, but I'm just not messaging the right people. I'm messaging the gratitude and the birthdays, and I do message the follow-ups, but I'm not messaging the right follow-ups, apparently. So, hold on one sec. I went way off my notes and I got to figure out where I went. Okay. And another reason I do that is because I know who I need to connect with. I know they need to see me, and I know that they know people that need them to see me, because they've got a lot of people that, are either struggling with mental health or a different weight loss company, and they're not in my face. So if the other person starts getting in their face with what I do, then like, oh, okay. And then it jumps this other person to get like, oh, I have all these people interested. Maybe I should go and message this girl. So that's kind of how I get my leads. I go back to my old posts. I go back to a lot of my old conversations, just stuff like that. I have more notes as to like new friends. TikTok, I do mass ad, but I will take about a minute or two to scan mutuals, their content, and their bio section just to make messaging when I do connect to them easier. I'm going to tell you guys, I'm not a person that throws myself out on TikTok a lot. I do make my videos weekly, yada, yada, but I do better on Facebook. I have a huge following on Facebook. I run like 6 different groups. I am an admin of like 3 other groups. Like my crystal business has gotten me a ton of followers over here. And I'm just waiting for all of them to jump. Right now, money is tight for a lot of people. Most of my people won't jump because they don't have the money to even grocery shop. And I know it's hard to bite the bullet sometimes, but I know those people are going to come around. As soon as they have money, they usually do.
I was going to say something to you. Maybe those are the people, though, that like you really need to start talking opportunity to, because they could really benefit, from that extra $250 a month. $250 a month would change those people's lives. And if they make that small investment in themselves, they can make a huge investment in like their future. So, and I think that you've seen such great results now that I think that you're comfortable enough offering that opportunity to everybody at this point.
And it's funny you say that, because most of the people that are following me, that have followed me for a long time, are the people that have joined me with other companies that do want to join me here. So you beat me to it. Facebook, I like to add people from groups that I've been in a long time, where I've posted multiple times, and like I've already interacted with them a few times. So it's not looking weird. Like, why is this girl adding me? I've commented, I've had like, what is that word? I've had a good conversation with her, like a real conversation, not just randomly adding people that I don't know. And my favorite thing, and unfortunately, I know some of you don't have this, but I know I do, and a couple other of you might. I go into old parties from my old companies, and people that have stayed in those parties that still have active profiles. I'll go and I'll message them and I'll be like, hey, do you remember me back when I was with such and such a company? And, we partied with so-and-so. I'll even name drop the person that we partied with. And most times that will get me an instant into their inbox. They're not going to block me because we've already talked sales before. They're not going to leave me on red because they're clearly adding me for a reason, knowing I'm doing something. And, well, most times they have money to spend. So those are the people that I tend to go toward. The people that have stuck around in like my old party groups and that used to buy crazy. I still am trying to get a lot of people on board. As I said, it's a matter of people watching me because I used to be a company hopper. A lot more people are starting to come around. I'm getting more, people saying, oh, okay, you're kind of sticking with this, huh? It's been like almost 6 months. I'm like, yeah, I plan on sticking here.
Right.
So
Right. And I think that idea that was great about going into past parties, because in the beginning here I hosted a lot of online parties for a while. I
that's
did
why I
probably
said you
like,
could do
right. I
benefit.
probably did like 15 parties that I have still open that I will share like the Thursday night live into, but I've never thought about going in and like actually friending these people. Like, where is my head? Like, that's so smart, Red. Like, I don't, like we damn, I feel stupid right now. I can't. Thank you so much, because like that's where I'm gonna spend my time tomorrow morning. I really appreciate that. That's a great.
I have one last note when you're done, and I promise it won't
Keep
take more than
going.
2 seconds.
It's you.
Okay. So my thing on Facebook for like adding people, I tend to add 10 to 15 people, new people daily. I reach out to them about a week later. If I'm left on red, I send them one more message. If I'm left on red again, I delete them. And I remove about 10, 15 to 20 people that are inactive a week. And it's been really helping with my algorithm. So removing the people that aren't active on your posts, even liking them, get the fuck rid of them. They're doing you no good. They're not helping you. They're not spreading the word. They're not doing anything for you. If you feel like they could be a potential person, maybe go try to message them. If they ignore you, then get rid of them, because they're obviously not, interested, or, they could not be seeing you, but chances are they're not interested and they're just, turning their head the other way. That was it.
I love it all. I took notes. I was over here, I was over here taking notes, and I'm like gonna add my little pieces in, because as you were going through and saying things, I was thinking caught my eye a couple other things. But I have a question for you. When you add people on Facebook, do you ever get the thing that's like you can only add people you know? Like, does there ever pop back that little like alert that's like, I don't know, sometimes it does it to me and I don't know, it's like, did I add too many people in a row too quickly and now it's like flagging me because it thinks I don't know people? Or do some
If
people
I
have a setting on, or what is that? Do you know?
if I try to add a person that I have zero mutuals with, that will happen. Or if I try to add a person that I have no groups in common with, or that I've tried to message, that will happen to me. But if I have mutual friends, mutual groups, or some kind of mutual something, usually you can add them with no issue.
That makes sense. Okay. I was like, because sometimes it does it to me and sometimes it doesn't. And I didn't realize, like, if you, yeah.
I have a problem with TikTok people because I've never talked to them before, unless I know them on Facebook. If I'm trying to like add them on Facebook as a friend, most times I can't add them. I have to talk with them and they have to add me.
On TikTok, you mean, right?
From TikTok to Facebook. Because most times I'll migrate people from TikTok to Facebook.
Yes, and that does get a little bit complicated. I have to do the same thing too, because otherwise you go into like a spam folder, and then it's like sometimes a spam folder or a filtered request. Yeah, sometimes you can set that up for like yourself. By the way, if nobody has that set up, make sure you've set up your message request on TikTok so that you can accept messages from everybody, because there is a setting, if you have a new TikTok or whatever, that your setting might be so that you have to be friends. And so people might not even be able to have the option to message you unless they're your friend. And as somebody who's selling, that's not what you want. You can filter them into a different folder if you want to, but make sure they can still actually send you something. I think it limits somebody to 3 messages before you accept them or something like that. Maybe, I don't know. But anyways, maybe once you message them back, I don't think you have to accept them as a friend. So thank you, Red, very much for your for all of your tips there. I was also thinking when you said go back to old posts and you comment on them, I do that all the time where I squirrel out on like the fact that people have commented, or I'll intentionally be trying to space my comments and then like something happens and Facebook must decide that I don't want to see it, and then it doesn't show me any more updates. And then like when I do see it again, there's like 15 comments and I'm like, wait, what? Like there's no way I missed all of these, but that's happened to me before, definitely. But I was also thinking just myself, something that I don't do, but there was a girl who worked here that used to, Heather, she would comment on her own memories. So she would share her memories and then comment on her memories. So as somebody who's been here now over, you know, a year or two, at least me and Darnell are, I know Holly, there's a couple of us that are on here that have been here longer than a couple of years. Like I would start going back and comment on your memories if that's not something you do. Whenever Red said she comments on her old post, I was like, oh, memories would be like totally somewhere we could go with relevant stuff, especially because we're coming up on like Black Friday stuff. So keep that in mind. Another thing I wanted to say was the people who don't have the money, or you know, that's the excuse that they say that they're, you know, and not even an excuse, because like it is really freaking hard to live right now. But something I am trying to display personally in my social media is like, you don't have to necessarily have a bunch of extra money to do something that you love. And like, I really love creating content on social media, right? So like, yes, this is a business and it's something that I do, but like whenever you're using these products and it's something you enjoy, this isn't really a job, right? So that's definitely a way that you can, I say it's not a job. We all hopefully understand what I'm saying. You make it fun. They say that if you love what you do, you never work a day in your life, right? So if you can learn how to enjoy this, if you can learn how to fall in love with the process of making content, if you can learn how to making the videos fun, if you can learn how to get your children involved, if you can learn how to just film your day to day so that it's not an extra step, and learn how to work your business into that, it becomes where this isn't hard. It does require effort, but it's really just a small extra step to be able to create the content that you need around your life to show people how these products work into your life. So that's something to keep in mind as well. Was I wrote down here was a side hustle. You need something that you love, something that makes you money, and then something that can be a creative outlet for you. So for me, I've also just recently started doing this whole like mushroom foraging thing. And I am opening up a whole nother group of people for myself right now. Hello, we're all in this business. That is something all of y'all can do if you so please and feel like it. I know Christy is a homeschooling mama. I don't know if she has woods out there in the desert. Like, I don't know if there's like trees, like old oak trees, or if it's just nothing but sand and cactus. I have like, seriously, like I am geographically like whatever. But anyways, is that geography? Is that topography? Whatever. Y'all look, I was science and math girl. Okay. So I should know what type of trees might be there, but I don't. Regardless, look, if you got trees, you got mushrooms. That's my whole point. Okay. So if you got trees, you got mushrooms. We work in a company where we sell mushrooms. We sell functional mushrooms, y'all. This is like an excellent, totally excellent, like get out there. It is literally helping my mental health, because I am going out, I am walking through a field. I am telling my people that I am going out, I am seeing where the stuff that we are using to better ourselves is actually coming from. Like I literally know what I forget, I can't even say the dang word, but the mycelium, I know what that looks like naturally occurring in the forest floor now. You know what I mean? With mushrooms growing out of it. Like, it's cool to me. And on top of that, I've joined a couple mushroom groups. I've joined some like mushroom foraging groups, and like there's not one in my area. There's definitely not one for like pot smoking mushroom mamas in the area. So like, hello, I might just have to start a new crowd. You know what I'm saying, you guys? Like, this is something that is up and coming. You get out of your box. Red said make a group, or to have groups. Like, you don't have to make a group around your business. You can make a group around your hobby and then talk about your business in the hobby that you're doing, right? Like, you don't have to make this like a sales group where you do nothing but talk about sales. You can actually foster community within your community, and then just be the girl who sells the mushroom and the hemp products. Eventually enough people are going to catch wind of it that you're going to be super freaking cool, and like, you're going to have people that want to join your team anyway, right? So I run a stoner group. That's awesome. Epic, like totally something that you guys could do, right? If you got a whole bunch of stoner memes in your phone, hello, I totally could start a stoner group and like literally schedule a meme drop for like every day for the next year probably, and have enough content to get me through to 2024. But anyways, so that being said, the other half of this training was going to be like how to plug people in. I made our calendar back at the beginning of this month, and very conveniently, that was actually what our training was on last night. So I am not going to rehash what Darnell did last night on the Gummy Gang, because her, Dawn, and everybody else, I don't know if you guys had a chance to watch it, but they did a fabulous job on this. I'll briefly cover beginning to plug people in. So as you're finding these new people and you're getting them, if you're posting videos and people are coming to you because they're interested, I think this was on our training last week. We had how to have conversations, right? One of the famous things is, what was it about what I'm doing that interested you? Or what was it about my video that caught your interest, right? Let them start the conversation. Don't just start word vomiting. Ask them a very open-ended question that's like, so what you want to know more about? Like, lay your hot mess express on me, girlfriend. What you got going on? What sort of issues do you deal with on a daily basis? And, let people talk to you. That way you know which direction to guide them. And then the next thing is to get an email. Now, this doesn't have to be this like awkward, like, can I get your email so I can put you into my system so I can send you these emails about the audition? And then, we're going to send you 3 emails a week. You don't have to tell them all that. All you have to do, and honestly, like, I don't put everybody in the audition that I get their emails. And I don't know what everybody else wants to do. I'm gonna let everybody do what you want to do. You totally can. If you want to put every single email into the audition that you get, you totally can. Personally, if people don't have an interest in the business and they just want to be my customer, I would rather them be able to go and order in 3 months without me having to worry about wiping an email out of their system at the current point in time. So if they're not interested in the business side of it, I'm not putting them into the audition, but that's just me. If they are interested in the business side, I'm definitely putting them into the audition, but either way, I'm getting an email and immediately putting them into my contacts on the desktop version of the app, because the desktop version will then carry over to your phone app. But if you put a contact into the phone app, it will not carry over to the desktop version. Am I right on that, Darnell? Did you miss it?
Sorry, my children were fighting and screaming. I was like, what is happening out there?
No, you're good. I saw you get up for a second, but
yeah, no, I don't know. I don't know 100%, because I feel like if I put something into my desktop, it's on my app.
I know for a fact it is there, but I feel like the other way around is not the case sometimes. And I don't know if it's, but I also don't think that because I will say this, if you get a new VIP, your new VIP does not automatically go into your contacts either. You have to enter them manually. So I think you have to go to that desktop version, because I just got a new VIP the other day and tried to send them a video and I could not find them until I actually put them into the system myself. So I don't know why the two things don't communicate. You really would think it should be that way, but that is why it's really important. I know a lot of us here are in the Little Runners group, but for those of us who aren't, one of the tasks that was kind of given or that we talked about on the training last night was to go through your VIP and your customer and your rockstar list and put them all into the app, into folders. It's going to take you a minute, depending on how many customers you have. I can do about 1 person every 2 minutes or so. I'm not super tech savvy. It's a lot of clicking back and forth. I want to make sure I get everything right. But I literally go and I put every single customer into my app, my desktop version app contacts, and then have separated them into folders. Bye, Christy. of VIP customer, rock star, and then auditioner, or like somebody who's interested in the business, so that I have those folders ready, because then whenever you do decide to write your emails, you already have them all separated like that. Now, if you are so you're having a conversation with someone, you let them run the conversation, let them tell you how, if they're interested in the business or the products, grab their email. It's really, really simple to just be like, hey babe, you got an email you can shoot me so that I can send you, I either say, so I can send you a 2-minute video about blank, or so I can send you a flip book about our products, is what I say. And then I send them, I do exactly that. I put them in and then I send them either the video or the lookbook or both. And then I have it to where I can tell if they've read my information. Now, just to make sure we're clear on this for everybody here, the way you're going to make sure you know that people are looking at it, you have got to go to the desktop version. You enter, so let's call her Susan, okay? So we're going to go to the desktop version. We're entering Susan. I don't know, whatever. I'm going to have to give her a name. Susan Claus. Santa's wife. Okay, Susan Claus. We're going to put in Susan Claus into the desktop version of our app. You then go into your phone app, scroll down to refresh once you're into the contacts, right? So you go into contacts, scroll down to refresh, and Susan Claus is going to pop up. You're going to click Susan Claus, and then up at the top, there's this little button. There's like a little circle with an arrow that points up, and it says Share Tools. It's right underneath her name on the left-hand side. You click that Share Tools, and when you do that, it looks exactly like the home screen did on your app, except for now, every single thing on that screen is linked to Susan Claus. So you're going to be able to tell if Susan Claus opens your lookbook, any of the videos she sends, you're going to be able to tell how long she's watched said videos and all of that. So make sure you are doing that by doing that extra step and adding your contacts in. That's how you get the individual tracking capabilities. And then it's super cool because let's say Susan Claus gets really busy and her kids start fighting and she's got to walk away from the computer whenever she was talking to you and she falls asleep. And next thing you know, it's 2 weeks have gone by and you didn't hear from Susan, but you're too scared to reach back out to her. But here you go, your phone dings in the morning and it's Susan on Sunday drinking her cup of coffee, looking at your website, and you can see that she's clicked your order button 3 times, but clearly that's probably an indication that she wants something, but she's having a little bit of trouble. So maybe you should reach out. And you should probably send either a text message or an email that says, hey, my whatever told me that you were peeking around. I just wanted to make sure if you had any problems, you knew that you could come and talk to me. Because if somebody I haven't talked to is looking around, I want them to know that, like, I'm not some psychic. Like, I really was told that you were looking at my stuff. So what's up? And then usually they talk to me. But if you want more training on what to do, once you get people, once you plug them in, whenever it comes to the app and like doing those sort of things, if you're plugging people into the audition, it's really simple. We plug them into the audition. We tell them, hey, come join us on Thursday nights if they're not ready to jump yet. And then you invite them to the live on Thursday and you let Kristen and Travis kind of seal your deal. And then Friday is our follow-up game where we just send those people messages and make sure they've watched that live. Your follow-up game is also involving sending this whole lookbook or sending one of your videos. That way you can tell if they've watched it. So, all right, well, that's all I got. So thanks, you guys. That was it because Darnell and again, Darnell, Dawn, Christina, Carrie and Becca all did a wonderful training on the Gummy Gang last night. Like seriously. By the way, corporate has capability to see our analytics. Just FYI, in case nobody knew that or anybody, just so y'all want to know that, hey, you want to look good to corporate and you think corporate doesn't know your name, start using your app. Guarantee you start using your app, they're going to know who you are. They're going to start learning your name because they see who uses the app, right? They're going to see if you're somebody who's sending an app every Friday and you're getting results, and they're going to ask you to get on those trainings. So if you're not somebody using the app, get on the app, start using the app. I'm talking to myself as well. Hey, but hey, I'm going to get over it as soon as I fix this. Y'all see my screen. It is like ridiculous. It is ridiculous how busted my phone is right now. Thing that gets me is, why do my voice clips work, but like when I go to record a TikTok video, you can hear nothing? I literally can sit here right now and voice clip just fine, but if it comes to trying to record a TikTok, it won't pick up my volume unless I have my headset in. So I was about 3/4 of the way through recording a TikTok earlier, and Caden's like, Mom, you got your phone volume fixed? And I was like, oh, no, I did it. Actually, I did it. Caden, thank you for not letting me finish that and getting all the way to the end. But anyways, all right. Had to finish the story time.
That is so funny. All right. Well, I appreciate you both. I took a lot of good notes here, and I was just like, even as you're talking about the app, I like logged in. I'm like, wait, where's that share tools that she was talking about? See, like we all learn something new every day from each other. Like I heard it last night, but I didn't hear it until you said it. So sometimes it just takes hearing the information over and over again too. I think on Monday during my Blitz call, I'm going to work on doing emails and drip campaigns, so everybody can kind of see how to do a drip campaign too, because I've had a lot of questions about that and I can't find a training on it. So I might do it on Monday during the Blitz call in the morning. Just, you know, spread the word a little bit. But I appreciate you both. This was awesome. And Red, I can't wait to see how many people you get on the call on Thursday night. I bet it'll be a good amount of people. I love it. And I'm going to pick winners. I swear. I'm going to get this done. I swear.
I said we're doing it before we leave. Are we doing it now?
I know. And I never even looked at it because I was like, oh, I'm like taking all these notes, and I never looked at Facebook. So I will do this. I promise. We will start tomorrow with some winners. That's what's going to happen. I'm going to start tomorrow with some winners. So I'll let everybody know the winners in the morning. So love you all. Thank you so much. Have a great night. And I will talk to you guys later.
Okay.